humbly stand before you, greeting Sacred Source. We breathe in this life-giving breath from Sacred Source. And we breathe out the gifts that come with that. Love, generosity, peace, joy, and gratitude. We offer gratitude for this beautiful, powerful space in which we get to enjoy robust relationships for our spiritual growth. We offer gratitude for the rain, the thunder, the lightning, all life-giving forces to nurture the earth and us. We give thanks for the beautiful diversity of colors in the plant world, in the rocks, in the minerals. And we give thanks for, most importantly, life-giving water and the fire to warm us. We are all part of this beautiful, vast web of consciousness, and we are a point of light in it, loving and supporting all of creation with our gifts and talents and resources. That is the power of unity in community. So today we listen to Reverend Diana's inspired words about power in community. And I know that as our ears are opened, our inner ears are opened, our inner eyes are open, and our hearts wide open, we'll receive a message, an inspiration, or a little whisper from our intuition, our spiritual guides, helping us to reveal without distortion that which is ours to do, lovingly, kindly, and generously. And I know this prayer is acted upon because I see it already being done as I move about in this community. So we give thanks, offer our gratitude to the sacred source from which all this comes, and together we say, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Chris. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us here this morning. If you are new with us here online this morning, my name is Diana Johnson. I'm the pastor and spiritual director for Mystic Heart Spiritual Center. We are celebrating the second Sunday of the Lenten season this morning, time of releasing, rethinking, renewing, reimagining. We begin our Taizé journey by joining our voices in musical prayer.
Welcome home to your mystic heart. Lay aside whatever came before. Let your own intuition start to guide you to heaven's door. Welcome home to your mystic heart. Lay aside whatever came before. Let your own intuition start to guide you to heaven's door. To guide you to heaven's door. To guide you to heaven's door. You are beloved just as you are. here in this circle of grace, shining your bright radiance light, free to be you in this place. I am beloved just as I am, here in this circle of grace, shining my bright radiant light, free to be me in this place. We are beloved just as we are, here in this circle of grace, shining our bright radiant light, free to be us in this place. I am beloved just as I am, here in this circle of grace, shining my bright radiant light, free to be me in this place, free to be me in this place.
And now settling more deeply into the flow of Taizé meditation. Breathing, letting go of all that came before this moment. Allowing ourselves to be fully supported, to ground ourselves in presence. Taking a deep breath in and letting it go. Breathing in presence and letting go to relax the body. Letting ourselves be held. And in sacred ritual, we take a moment to sense our oneness with the global community. As we envision every creature, every plant, every rock, pebble, grain of sand, shining with the light of spirit. The soil, the water, the clouds, the heavenly bodies. Each one becomes a golden thread woven tightly into the fabric of creation. My light enmeshed with yours and with all of life. And envisioning ourselves as radiant light. All human beings, all creatures. The earth herself, radiant light. Trusting and knowing that we are connected to all of it. Any sense of separation is an illusion. And so grounded in our oneness, we center our hearts in the idea that there is power in our connection, that there is power in community. And we acknowledge that whether we know it or not, we are rooted in that community of life. By design, we are social animals. We begin life vulnerable and dependent on our caregivers. Over time, we progress to become independent, or so we think. And we strike out in the world on our own. As we mature further, we realize that we cannot take on the world alone. And so we begin to grow toward becoming interdependent in a conscious way, working in harmony with those around us. The goal of our physical, psychological, emotional, and spiritual development is to reach a conscious state of interdependence. As we grow in self-awareness, we begin to understand that there is strength in developing strong relations with those around us. We're strong enough to stand on our own, but wise enough to understand that there is even greater strength in developing a community. If you're spending this morning with us today in contemplation, there is a divine impulse calling you to a deeper way of life. Something has guided you to seek spiritual community. There are three primary reasons to engage in sacred community. First, to be part of a group that is developing a culture of love and support as they learn to embody and live from spiritual principles. Second, to be exposed to a line of sacred study and practice that leads to the mystical path. And third, to allow your direct experience of the divine to lead you to the path of service, the path of action. All people thrive when they are surrounded by and surrendered to the love and support of others. In spiritual community, we discover the workings of spirit by consciously observing spiritual principles in action and acknowledging grace as they move through our lives. Taking part in beloved community offers a gentle reminder, an invitation to stay awake, to look past the appearances of the world to the truth that lies beneath. As we give more of our time and attention to the divinity at the heart of all things, we come to know the presence of Spirit, not as a concept or a form, but as a felt experience. This is the path of the mystic. As we begin to sense and know God as life itself, we begin to understand our life's purpose, to be a servant of life, to give of our unique gifts in service to the whole.
love, to serve and remember love. Why have you come to earth? Do you remember? Why have you taken birth? Why have you come to love, to serve and remember, to love, to serve and remember? Why have you come to earth? Do you remember? Why have you taken birth? Why have you come to love, to serve and remember, 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 love, 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 serve and
Makes it sound so simple. Love. Giving unconditionally of ourselves. Serving. Doing what is ours to do, sharing what is ours to share. In service to something greater than ourselves. And in those acts, remembering who and whose we are. The spiritual teachings of ancient times stressed the importance of service. In the 6th century BCE, the Buddha spoke these words: "Teach this triple truth to all. A generous heart, kind speech, and a life of service and compassion are the things which renew humanity." sometime between the 5th and the 3rd centuries BCE. The Hindu scriptures taught that every selfless act is born from Brahman, the eternal, infinite Godhead. He is present in every act of service. All life turns on this law. Whoever violates it, indulging his senses for his own pleasure and ignoring the needs of others, has wasted his life. And following the teachings of the Rabbi Jesus, Peter reminds his brothers, each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others, as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms.
It has been said that there are only two lasting bequests families can hope to give their children. One of these is roots, the other wings. Roots, by being confident that they belong, that they are a part of something much bigger than just themselves, and wings of freedom to evolve into their best selves. The same is true of spiritual family. As children of spirit of all ages, we also benefit from the assurance that we belong, that we have a network of support as we navigate our mystical path. Just as in the forest, where tree roots grow together and intertwine in mutual support, our spiritual roots interconnect with each other, and we share the divine gift that feeds our souls. And it is from this ground of being firmly rooted, stable, and secure that we develop the courage to evolve. Personal transformation can be frightening. Letting go of our story of limitation and faults may feel like we're losing our identity. The love and support of beloved community can sustain us through these times of doubt and uncertainty. With the courage, the encouragement of our beloved community, we dare to stretch our wings. We risk new adventures in mysticism. We allow ourselves to let go of the familiar so that we can imagine and explore new possibilities, new visions of who we might be. We soar to new heights in consciousness, knowing that we have an absolutely safe place to land. Moving into the silence, visualize the roots of your spirit spreading out to connect with those of others in this community. Just as the trees share resources through their roots, allow yourself to partake in the sharing of consciousness with one another. Feel the free flow of divine energy emanating out from you and streaming back into you. We are drawing on an infinite source. Each of us gives what is ours to give and receives exactly what we need. Sense the spiritual power entering your body through your roots and rising up through you. allowing your awareness gently to be led back into this place. We give thanks for the support of shared community. Grateful for this time of communion with Spirit and with one another. We truly appreciate the love and encouragement we share together. Thank you, God, for everyone and for everything. I invite you to know with me now that Spirit is moving powerfully through each of us and through this beloved community. Individually and collectively, we are a powerful spiritual influence on the world. As we evolve in consciousness, the benefits of our growth ripple out, blessing the entire world. We open our hearts and our minds to the sweet inspiration of Reverend Diana's continued message this morning. We rest in spirit, deeply secure in the knowing that we are firmly rooted in community.
Being in community offers profound benefits to body, mind, and spirit. It has been proven to reduce stress, to boost immunity, and provide a sense of belonging and connection. Strong social ties lower the risk of chronic disease, reduce anxiety and depression, and increase longevity by promoting healthier habits and providing emotional support. The longest-lived people in the world, those living in the blue zones, have very strong social connections, a sense of belonging in community. They live their lives filled with purpose and service. We conclude our contemplations this morning by allowing the words of Reverend Jim Lockhart to permeate our consciousness. The beloved community is a place where there is a balance between the everyday and the mystical, where both are taught and seen as two elements of a greater whole. The soul is fed by meaning, fulfillment, and connection. The soul is fed by the joy of experiencing the mystical side of life, with its rich sense of connection to everyone and everything. The soul is fed by the joys and the sorrows of the fully lived human life. He continues, there is a calling of the soul within each of us to be an agent of spiritual healing for humanity, even if only for an exceedingly small slice of it. Deep is calling each of us to heed its call, to fulfill our promise and potential as spiritually mature adults. This calling is intended to disrupt old patterns of thought and behavior that do not serve our soul's longing for connection, love, and compassion, and to develop our innate capacities to live as mature adults with a deeper sense of spiritual poise and strength. It is the clay from which we will build our collective future. Those of us in spiritual community are involved in something vital. It is up to us to ensure that this vitality is not wasted, but is expressed powerfully in our actions. So we anchor ourselves in prayer as we acknowledge the one source that I call God, forever giving of itself as its creation. I accept for myself and for each one listening that all beings are perfect and intentional emanations of the one life. I am a unique expression of God in form, and so are you. Each of us, absolutely necessary and irreplaceable. As I move into the week ahead, I do all that I can, all that is mine to do in service to the whole. My thoughts, words, and actions create only good. I walk as a beneficial presence on the planet, planting seeds of love and compassion as I go, leaving a path of peace and joy in my wake. I take time every day to notice the small miracles that permeate my life, to count my blessings, and to make sure my presence is a blessing to others. Setting this clear intention, my week unfolds gracefully. I consciously and willingly place my full faith in the goodness of life, in the power of community. I trust and know that a prayer spoken and deeply felt is a prayer answered, and so I release this prayer now, trusting that the loving and lawful presence of God is making it so right here and right now. It is done. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. So as we prepare to close our Taizé meditation time this morning, we offer an opportunity for you to share of your financial good with this community, with your community, in support of the work that we're doing in the world. The practice of circulation is a sacred practice, and it's one that supports Mystic Heart. So it is by your generous gifts and donations of time, talent, and treasure that we continue our work. So if you're joining us online, you can go to mysticheart.org and you will find a donate button and a mailing address. And as we allow this time for circulation, please enjoy the One Voice Children's Choir this morning with We Are the World.
Comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one.
There are people dying, and it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can't go on pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change.
you and me. When you're down and out and there seems no hope at all, if you just believe, there's no way we can fall. Let us realize that a change can only come when we stand together as one. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start giving. There's a choice we're making, we're saving our own lives. It's true, we'll make a better day, just you and me. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start giving. There's a choice we're making, we're saving our own lives. It's true, we'll make a better day, just you and me. We are the children, we are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start giving. There's a choice we're making, we're saving our own lives. It's true, we'll make a better day, just you and me.
So we'll sing you on your way to some coffee or to the rest of your Sunday with the soul's blessing.
May your soul always find what it's looking for. May your heart always lead the way. May you live in peace and harmony, and may love always fill your day. May your path be strewn with happiness. May success find you everywhere. May you always embrace compassion and grace, and may God always answer your prayer. May you always embrace compassion and grace, and may God always answer your prayer.
God bless you. Have a beautiful Sunday.
Oh, we come together in a spirit of love, in a spirit of unity, and embrace the power of community. We give thanks to the sacred source I call God, who always nourishes, who always gives unconditional love. We accept that nourishment, we accept that love into our hearts, into our minds, so that we can demonstrate it right where we are, right where we're planted. I give thanks for each one here sharing their wisdom as we have conscious conversation together. And know that each one here has something to offer everyone, and we give freely of that wisdom, knowing that whoever needs to hear it and will receive it without distortion to apply to their own life and their own growth, for the benefit of themselves and for anybody they come in contact with. We ripple out this love as we share it. So I give thanks and gratitude for this space, these people, the generosity, the love, the support of spiritual community. And together we say, and so it is. Amen.
Well, welcome or welcome back. I see we've had at least one welcome join us. I better get these off of here because otherwise it won't work. Well, if you are new with us online this morning, my name is Reverend Diana Johnson. I'm pastor and spiritual director for Mystic Heart Spiritual Center. We're an independent interfaith community, and we teach universal principles and practical spirituality. And we seek to weave the threads of truth that follow the threads of truth that run through all the world's traditions. So that's who we are and what we're up to. And it's my prayer that something you hear this morning touches you and guides you inward to your own mystic heart. We're going to start, as we do every week, our conversation with some upbeat music, and feel free to sing and dance if you want to.
Welcome to the Mystic Heart. Join the celebration. Lift your voice and sing your part. Make this affirmation. Spirit made us family with loving hearts to share. Together we are joyfully practicing the possible through prayer.
And everything's possible
So
through prayer.
welcome to the Mystic Heart. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound and say, hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you'll meet. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah.
Ooh, all right. This month we're going to revisit something we haven't sung together in a while. It's April's favorite song.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round attend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep inside the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time to lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round attend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time to lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
Ooh, I love that song.
songs don't have to rhyme.
No! It's a cool song, and it's a true song. It's a true song. We shall be known by the company we keep. Heard that before, right? The ones who circle round to tend, the ones who circle around to tend these fires. You know?
April.
That would be April. She'll tend the fire, she just doesn't want to jump in the well of consciousness.
She just wants to go up to it.
Yeah. She doesn't understand. She does understand the metaphor. She just wants to harass me every time we do that song.
That's what kids do.
That's what they do. And so with the joy and the laughter, we're going to turn now to our envisioning of a love-soaked world, our practice that we are engaging in as we do create a new story for humanity and for the planet. This is a world where all humans are living from their deepest potential, their deepest wisdom, their deepest generosity, their most loving nature, thoughtful of the impact of thoughts and words and actions. This is a world without greed, where there's absolute abundance in just having enough, where nutritious food and clean water and air are available to all beings, where warm and comfortable and affordable housing is a given, and where all beings feel a sense of safety and belonging and contribution. And so to these blessings, we say yes. Yes. Yes is a powerful prayer. Ours is a world where mental and physical health and education and healthy relationships are well supported by social systems that are grounded in wholeness and wellness and integrity and honesty, where all beings work and play at whatever feeds their souls and are well compensated for their service, where authenticity and vulnerability are not only welcomed but are celebrated, where the peace that we cultivate within ourselves shows up as a world free of hatred and violence, and a world that is free of indifference. Yes. Ours is a world where the love that we are here to share is given freely to whomever our hearts are called to love, where we have moved beyond all lines of separation, and we live as one human family, caring for one beautiful planet with the love and reverence that she deserves. To these blessings, we say yes. We recognize that transformation is an ongoing process, and especially in times of great change, people benefit from working and playing and simply being together. And so this community stands as an open and welcoming place that welcomes all beings who seek support, belonging, and a sense of family. This community redefines church as a place of self-discovery, authenticity, kindness, radical inclusion, and love. To these blessings, we say yes. We recognize that transformation is ongoing, and by the power of the great mystery moving through each one of us, we know that this prayer is acted upon in the here and now, exactly as it is spoken. Divine presence and divine timing and process make it so now, and so it is with profound gratitude and great joy that I release my word to the one who gets it done, and so it is. So it is. Amen. It is happening. We are creating it. Not just us, but lots of we's out there in the world. The media doesn't make that obvious. The media doesn't make it obvious. Unless we...
That's right.
Huh? Doesn't sell toothpaste. Unless we go looking for positive media. And if you do that, you find there's a whole lot of good stuff happening in the world right now. So, this morning our topic has been rooted in community, power in community. The month's topic is power in community, and this morning is rooted in community. And during the Taizé, we spent our contemplations with the idea that inherently we are interconnected as human beings, and we're interconnected not with just with each other, but with everything. And we looked at 3 reasons for engaging in spiritual community. They're not the only 3 reasons, but I listed them as 3 of the primary reasons. The first is to be part of a group that's developing a culture of love and support as they learn to embody and live from spiritual principles. What are spiritual principles? We throw words around sometimes. Abundance. Circulation.
Basically, just the way spirit works, the way things work.
The way spirit works, the way of things.
You can either go with the flow or try to buck the current.
Yeah, all right. So secondly, we join in community to be exposed to a line of sacred study and practice that leads us in a community like this to a more mystical path. What does that mean? Mystical path. People mistake that word a lot. Being called mystic heart, I hear people reach out to me online and they think it means something it doesn't mean. One second, let me see if anybody else has a... What is a mystical referring to? What is a mystic?
A person who feels a connection to God or whatever
Okay.
the supreme, whatever they see as
Okay.
that
So
thing.
it's a feeling, a
Yes.
felt experience of the divine.
Yes.
In whatever way we get it. We all get it differently because we're unique. Okay. And then the third thing we talked about was to allow our direct experience of the divine to lead us ultimately to a path of service, to a path of action, so that we maybe spend our time in our personal practice. We might sit on a cushion, we might dance, we might hike in nature, we might do our solitary practices, and ultimately that connection with spirit is meant to bring us into some kind of action, some kind of connection. And so that's where community can come in, whether it's a spiritual community or a greater community or whoever you're serving. Your family can be a community that you serve. So your children, your siblings, any group of people that are joined together for any kind of a common purpose, that's a community. So our conversation this morning, I want to talk a little bit about that and then take a right turn in a bit. What is the power, the benefit, the power of being in community?
It is a sense of belonging that gives you this is hard to put into words. It gives you a feeling of connection.
Okay. So there's a sense of belonging and connection being a
Right.
part of a community. Okay. Lucinda?
It's being supported
Okay.
and supporting.
Being supported when you need it and supporting others when they need it. So it's a reciprocal, a circulation.
Being able to be vulnerable.
Being able to be vulnerable, to just be yourself, however you show up in any given moment. Okay? Bob, and then I'll come over this way.
Well, we're all here contributing to our spiritual bank account,
Okay,
and we're all rich for it.
all right. So we're all contributing to our spiritual bank account, and it enriches our lives. Okay? Chris?
I'm reminded of the African proverb that if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far,
Right.
go with your community.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So there is power in community. There is support. There's strength. We find courage.
And all of that represents the diversity that is in community, because not everybody
Right.
has the gift to do everything. And
Right.
we need the diversity of talents.
Yeah.
That's how come you can go far.
Right. You have a greater diversity of human talent and ability and qualities in a community.
Also, since we are social beings,
Mhm.
isolation can be dangerous to our systems,
Yes.
to our health, to our mental health. And having a community where you actually feel that sense of, I can show up as me and every version of me is okay, I don't have to be anything else to be a part of this. That type of sacred community gives you not only just the social things we need, the mental stimulation we need, but it's also a safe space to grow and to show up and to let your heart be out and to meet the hearts of others. And for a lot of us that don't have extended roots, it also offers you a platform. And like when you're a kid and you're playing tag,
Mhm.
you need home base, man, otherwise you're just running around, right?
Right.
So there's a safe space to run back to,
Yeah.
where you know, okay, I'm safe here, I made it, you
Yeah.
know? And I think a lot of us really like having that,
Right.
that space.
Yeah. So there's safety in having deep community and having sacred community. It's also recognized, there's been a lot of research around the fact that we are social animals and we do depend on one another, we do need one another, and that being an active part of a community actually has a lot of health benefits to us. So I mentioned some of those in Taizé. What were some of those health benefits?
Longer life.
Longer lives. People in meaningful community live longer, healthier lives.
Strong immunity.
Strong immune system. Re-
Shared germs.
I think we mentioned it before, but when you live with a lot of stress hormones, cortisol in your system, it
Mhm.
damages the actual telomeres on the end of your DNA strands.
Right.
And you start to create disformed cells.
Yeah.
And that the only thing that repairs that is serotonin.
Mhm.
And when you're around other people, when you feel safe, when your nervous system relaxes, your brain releases more serotonin. So literally the answer in our chemistry
Right.
for the damage that the life in the world brings as far as stress
Mhm.
is to be in a space of joy and gratitude and feeling connected.
Yeah. So there's a reduction of the stress and there's a huge benefit in many ways to the health.
Along the line of what April was saying, oxytocin is also released,
Yeah.
which is the caring,
Yeah.
nurturing
Right.
aspect of ourselves.
Yeah. So, yeah, they know that strong social ties actually reduce your risk of chronic illness in your life. They reduce anxiety and depression, even depression. And I looked at some studies again, I've done this before. Oh, go ahead and then I'll continue on.
No, I was just
Sorry.
gonna say, there's a great power in just knowing you belong.
Yeah, there's
That you're not an outsider, you
Right.
belong.
You belong. There is power in that.
That's why gangs form.
That's true. When there's no alternative, no strength of family, no extended community for youth, they will form their own. And this is where gangs come from. They need a place to belong. They need a sense of brotherhood, sisterhood. If only we, as a society, could know that, and it's so preventable. It's so preventable. So I looked again at the blue zones on the planet, the places where the longest lived people live, and yes, they do have physical practices. They have a plant-based diet, not necessarily vegetarian, but 90% plant-based diets, and they have a high level of physical activity.
They work hard.
They work hard, and also they have a close sense of community, a sense of contribution, And when interviewed, they speak of lives filled with purpose and meaning and connection. And so this just, it can't be denied that it all leads to a longer, healthier life. Okay, so I'm going to shift and read you a paragraph from this. I've used this before. This is not a very long paragraph. Book called Creating the Beloved Community. This is something that we looked at prior to Mystic Heart's inception as the basis of where we started, and now we have evolved on. But this was our starting point. And I just want to share a paragraph and then ask you some questions about what I have here. Where do I want to start? We are taught both how to live in the physical world and how to live in the realms beyond that world in spiritual community. Ideally, both concepts are clarified and braided together through spiritual instruction and by example, so that members of the community realize they literally have a foot in each. From that awareness and understanding, we learn to view our life experiences from a deeper place and to see connections where none were apparent before. We also come to realize that there is more for us to call upon in troubled times than our own understanding of reality. Philosopher Ken Wilber calls these two functions of a spiritual community: translation and transformation. Translation and transformation. So Ken Wilber's done a lot of work with this idea. And we're actually reading this in Praying Dangerously right now, too, in one of our classes. So in that context, what is translation? What do you guess that translation refers to? You enter into a spiritual community, say you're brand new with the community, and with the idea that within this community there will be translation and transformation. What's your guess as to what translation's referring
to? It would refer to being willing and to set aside your preconceived notions based on your past indoctrination, if you will, from other teachings and institutions, in order to open up your mind to, well, what do these people have to say?
Okay.
And the translation would be, well, this group that I came from used to call this X, and these people call it Y, so, but it's the same thing, so I can translate that in my mind and accept that perhaps.
Yeah, that's a big part of what translation refers to in this context. Chris?
It also refers to learning the structure and the I hate to say the dogma, but the there's a better word for that. That's
yeah, it doesn't have to be dogma.
But but the structure of the belief system, you know, and that part of that is the you know, sometimes you hear "and so it is" instead of "amen." You know, that's what you're used to. So, but just learning the belief system and how it jives with that you knew earlier and how it differs, and then figuring out how you feel about those differences.
Okay, good. So there's usually, with any spiritual community, there's going to be a new language that you learn, right? There's a new lingo. There are terms that one group will use that other groups don't use. There's going to be the belief systems. If you walk in the door here, you're going to hear universal principles. No doctrine, no dogma. Universal principles are those things that any tradition is going to agree upon, you know, like loving one another and living together in peace and having compassion for others and being in service. So when someone walks in here, they're going to hear maybe smatterings from many different traditions as examples of the teaching, but they're going to mostly hear the universal principles that run through all of it.
I think what I'm hearing in all of this now is we've got to drop our rigidity in the beliefs and adopt an attitude of flexibility in
Yeah.
our beliefs.
So we become less rigid and more flexible. Not necessarily that we change our personal path, that is not necessary. But that we are open enough to listen honestly, to listen deeply to other viewpoints, whether or not we ever shift our own to align with those. And at times we learn and grow in this translation into more open-minded, flexible beings, especially in a community like this. Lucinda?
I know this might not sound, it might sound a little strange, but sometimes it's translating yourself to yourself.
Okay. Translating yourself to yourself.
Clarification.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Let's see another hand over there.
It lends itself to that interpersonal transactions,
Okay.
so that I can hear you, you can hear me.
Right.
I might glean something from you, you might glean something from me, but you don't have to.
Right. Right. Yeah, Marcia.
I'm just going to follow up on what Lucinda said, because that's kind of an interesting concept, in the sense that while you ask me how I am, and while I'm telling you my story, sometimes I'm hearing my story myself for the first time and going, oh, that's interesting.
Uh-huh.
You know, seriously, especially when you're going through change.
Right.
And as you speak it,
Yeah.
it can be a surprise to yourself sometimes,
Right.
as to what that is. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. That's why sharing in spiritual community can be so powerful. We have that safe space to really just say whatever's there, and sometimes it is the first time we've heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the process of trying to view the world through the prism of a new philosophy, of a new way of thinking. It includes terminology and meanings and practices and rituals and ways of living. It's the process of becoming a member of a community's culture. So that's what he's referring to as translation in spiritual community. So we don't have a specific doctrine, dogma. We have a set of principles. So is it still beneficial? Is this translation process still beneficial to us when we come in here as a new person?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Necessary.
Okay.
It makes us, I don't know the right word, we become more inclusive together
Okay.
when somebody comes in, knowing that we're all one in love, becoming more inclusive.
Okay, so it's a very inclusive atmosphere, a very welcoming atmosphere, a sincerely welcoming atmosphere. This
I
is,
like our principle.
huh?
I like our principle here.
Yeah, universal principles are pretty universal. Pretty easy to get behind them.
And there's also language differences, because you're
Right,
not only likely to hear about beloved community here, you're likely to hear about satsang and sangha and,
Right.
and all the different types of world
right,
views on beloved community.
yeah. So being exposed to new ideas helps us to learn to listen generously to one another, to be more inclusive of all who walk through the door. And people sense that when they walk in the door. I hear that all the time.
Just in a space of understanding, offering understanding to another person, in just that helps to create the bridge so that we can see those common things. And for a lot of us who kind of are in a different, belief, all we want is to just be in a space and know that we're not in there for someone to change
Right.
what we believe, right?
Right.
And growing up, I grew up in a large major city. I have friends of every culture, every color, everything. And you go over, you spend time in their home, you come with your set of how we do things in our family, right? But you go, and the more time you spend, the more you understand their culture, their cooking, their traditions, their ways, and then you go over here and you learn
Right.
that. And you just, being an observer, you know, because you're a kid and you're all by yourself, so it's not like you're gonna go, my mom doesn't do that, we don't believe that, no, and, you know, whatever. And just because you don't take any of that and take it home and make it a part of your daily life, doesn't
Right.
mean that you can't deeply respect and understand. And then when
Right.
you have that again in front of you, you already know exactly what that is and how they
Yeah.
do, and it helps you to understand them and see them as human beings, and
Right.
and just having that conversation, being open and dropping the rigid guard you have over your beliefs, regardless whether it's spiritual or physical or whatever,
Right.
helps you just be in a space of being human, but that understanding helps bridge
Yeah.
the relationship.
Yeah. What would the world look like if everyone made this kind of an effort?
There would be no war right now.
And because
More
of that,
peaceful.
I can
Yeah.
party
That's
with
right, it
anybody.
wouldn't be.
I know, really, I can party with anybody, and I know exactly what it's gonna look like and what we're gonna do. Might have a few variations, but
Uh-huh.
because of that, we can deeply bond as human beings
Right.
in a space of joy, not caring about any of that stuff.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if we realize how powerful what we have here is.
That exposure that April's referring to helps to diminish fear, which usually causes the inability to extend and participate.
Right.
So that understanding early on, exposure early on in our lives, creates less rigidity and fear.
Thank you. It's true. So if that's what translation is talking about in spiritual community, what do you suppose Wilbur means by transformation? If a spiritual community has these two processes and two purposes, translation and transformation, what is transformation?
For me, is working with ourselves,
Okay.
learning all the time,
Mm-hmm.
never stop learning to be able to transform ourselves. For all my life up until I met my husband, I was very isolated.
Mm-hmm.
I was not exposed like April had been to different cultures. And starting with CSLR, I came here, is changing, transforming. Hey, this is out here.
Mhm.
We're all one. And it opened my eyes to understanding that. And I'm transforming. I'm still working on a few things. But it opened my eyes and my heart.
So
Really has.
it's
And that
working within
transformation.
yourself for
Mhm.
change.
Yes.
Like real, lasting, permanent
Yes.
change. Yeah. Thank you. What else, Chris?
That lasting change is by choice.
And it's by choice.
By choice.
Yes.
And what we're choosing to is perhaps embody those universal principles into action within
Yes.
ourselves and outwardly being reflected.
So we're seeking to embody the universal principles of loving our neighbor, living peacefully with our neighbors and our families, having compassion in our relationships and interactions, to not just talk about it and read about it
Or post it on the wall.
or post it on the wall or put it on Facebook, but to actually walk in that, to live it.
Trust.
Okay, so trust, transformation, trust is definitely needed and part of transformation.
I think transformation, for me, transformation comes after the translation. Now that I understand the principles that
Mhm.
that this church, this synagogue, whatever,
Right.
teaches, once I understand those and accept them, and then start to apply them in my own life,
Right.
that's when the transformation hits the road.
Yeah, that's where transformation begins. And when we can actually embody and live differently without having to think about it anymore,
Yeah.
that's when we know we have had some kind of a full transformation in one way or another. When it's no longer a conscious need to remember, but instead this is just how I live my life. It's who I am being in the world.
Becomes your new habit.
Becomes your new habit, your new set of behaviors, your new way of seeing things, your new way of being with relationship.
Just a little bit more about the trust. It's like as I become more trusting
Mm-hmm.
and I get more involved and I know that these people have got me,
Yeah,
I can be myself.
right.
And that is a level of trust
Yeah.
that is just not to be taken for granted.
So that's the trust building, the safety and the trust building is a really important aspect of the translational stage of entering a community, because you cannot build the trust if you don't feel safe.
I'm also not going to transform if I don't.
Right. Yeah,
build the
that's
trust.
like a long way off. That's like Maslow's hierarchy. You got to have the basics in line before transformation's going to happen.
What that leads to is acceptance,
Mm-hmm.
with a capital A, meaning there's no exceptions to your
Right.
acceptance.
Right.
That's hard to say.
No exceptions to your acceptance.
There you go.
Okay.
That's a
Right.
tongue twister.
Yes.
I always think about the plant people and the animal nation, and there are some transformations that are seasonal.
Mm-hmm.
For this season, I need to adapt to this, or I need to transform, winter coat, thicker fur, whatever it is. And then as the seasons shift, and not fighting that.
Right.
The animal kingdom does not fight seasonal change. They
No.
are connected to the earth, and it's what's best for survival, and they just do it. It's by design. And some transformation is permanent. A butterfly is not turning back into
Right.
a caterpillar at any point, and
Yeah.
that was the design.
Right.
But when she was talking about trust, I was thinking about that, and they say that caterpillars, even though they're ready, will not go into their cocoon for that transformation to take place if the parameters are not right for them to build
Yeah.
it.
Right.
And it's not until they determine, okay, I'm safe.
Mhm.
This is a spot I can go into this deep rest and be inside and
Yeah.
make this permanent change. And I think a lot of times it is true that we don't feel safe,
Mhm.
but maybe that's as simple as a transformation of being open to hearing and understanding someone else's idea.
Yeah.
A lot of times someone starts to tell you what they believe about spirit or where they're
Mhm.
going with, and automatically you tighten because your defense system is there.
Right.
And it's not until you break that to understand. A lot of us were taught, like, people who believe this are evil, or they're this or they're
Right.
that when we're little, so we already have that guard even though it's
Yeah.
not ours. And then when we come to that place of understanding and listening and letting that crack open,
Mhm.
that we can transform our understanding of, okay, maybe they're not evil, it's just a normal person.
Right.
We both believe that we should not cut down the forest and pollute the water, so even just there,
Right.
they share with me.
Right.
We share belief.
Yeah. You can begin to look for what you share instead of where you're different. Consciously seeking out those places where you're similar and start to build a relationship from there.
Common threads.
Common threads. So Mystic Heart loosely defines itself as an interfaith community, and we have a lot of threads of nature mysticism and eco-spirituality running throughout our community as well. We're grounded in universal spiritual principles rather than a particular belief system or a doctrine. And I said it this way in a class the other day, and even it was one of my practitioners who actually said, "Oh, now it makes so much sense." And because it was in a group, Cherie will not mind if I share that it was Cherie, because she's had a challenge with the interfaith idea versus New Thought, because she's deeply grounded in New Thought. And so when we changed after she committed, she almost felt like I was betraying somehow. And so I said the other day in class, we are grounded in the teaching, which is universal principles, not in a teacher. Where New Thought, whether it's Unity, Divine Science, Centers for Spiritual Living, they're grounded in the teachings of a teacher, and yes, they incorporate universal principles, but they're grounded in the teacher. We're grounded in the teaching. So I think that's how I see the difference between even what we're doing and a New Thought church, is that they have one line of one thread that they follow, and then they attach everything else to that thread. So CSL would be Ernest Holmes. Unity would be the Fillmores. And everything else is sort of attached to that. We have the universal principles, and we look for the threads that run throughout those principles.
This reminds me of the notion, all those threads are sweetgrass and we're braiding
Yes.
sweetgrass.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a book that we study
Right.
in book study.
It's a beautiful book. Beautiful book. So you might say we're grounded in the teaching itself rather than in the work of a particular teacher. Our focus is on spiritual qualities like peace and love and joy and beauty and the rest. Those qualities that are inherent to all of us and that are common to every person. And while we honor all forms of prayer because there's not one right way to pray, we do teach our practitioners and community members, we demonstrate, I use often, affirmative prayer. And I know other traditions use it as well. When I read some of the shamanic teachings that you passed my way, it's like, well, this is what we do. This is affirmative prayer. It's being it. It's feeling it. It's knowing it. It's seeing it. It's all of that. So when we say we're practicing the possible through prayer, this is one of the forms that we use, affirmative prayer. And in my personal practice, I also use blessing and I use silent communion and silence as well, but always in the affirmative. So what's your understanding? I just spewed some of it. What's your understanding of what makes affirmative prayer maybe different than some other forms of prayer? Let me see if anyone else and my practitioners want to chime in first.
You're not begging, it's not a petitionary.
Okay, so it's not petitionary, you're not begging for something or even asking for something to happen.
Right.
Okay?
One is asking and one is being.
Okay, one is asking, which always creates separation between you and the thing.
Like, even though I was half joking this morning, I said, waiting for the coffee, I said, I think I'm almost ready to pray for an outcome. and then I started saying, oh, gods of the coffee beans, please. That's definitely praying. But then when you go, the coffee is,
Right.
is different, but it's a funny example. But,
Yes. And as soon as you were being the finished coffee, the green light went on.
No, like Chris said, it's gonna be done. Leave it be, it's done. And it wasn't until I walked away and I was doing something completely different than someone else yelled, "It's green!" And then I ran for it.
All right, what else about affirmative prayer? What is it? How's it different?
Just talking about, okay. Example, my husband fell last night, not hard, I'm right on top of him. Oh, God help me. That's what came right out of my mouth. I'm just like, not the prayer at that point. And then a little bit later, he's laying there, whatever, by the time we end. And I'm sitting there chuckling and like, it wasn't all that bad. I really appreciate you. Thank you, just be grateful.
Right.
Just be grateful regardless of the circumstances. But it's like, oh, God help me. That just comes out like I'm demanding, and I don't mean to be that way, but it's just like that. And then later on, I'll chuckle and I'm saying, thank God, grateful. You're always there. I mean, I know I can do this. We'll get through this. So
So that's an affirmative
That-
prayer. I'm always supported by Spirit. Spirit
Exactly.
runs and flows freely and gracefully through all of my actions, my words, my thoughts, my activities, my relationships. That's an affirmative prayer.
It's acceptance and gratitude.
Okay, acceptance and gratitude for what is
Mhm.
in the present tense. Yeah.
It's not, the prayer is not dwelling on what you don't have.
Right.
You don't live in, you're denying that reality and visioning and experiencing, feeling that which you want to have,
Yes.
what it is that you are
Yeah. So if
striving.
someone comes to me and wants prayer, they want to pour out first, of course, clear out what's going on, what the problem. So I have them then sum up the problem into a sentence or two. And then I ask the question, what would you rather have it look like? What is it you're seeking? And then they state that and get that down to a sentence or two. And then the knowing and the feeling of that becomes the prayer. We don't even give attention to the problem, because what we attend to is what we tend to experience and then draw into our lives.
It's also not telling God how to do it.
Okay, this is what's happening, and it looks like this and this and this neighborhood and that there, and it has to be specifically the way my analytical mind thinks it needs to be right now. So for me, affirmative prayer is more about the qualities that we're seeking.
Mhm.
It's more about, and you know, you're welcome to get very specific. My challenge with getting very specific is not that it doesn't work, it does work. I don't always know what that outcome's gonna be like. I might get what I asked for,
And it might
and it might not be what I thought it was.
Yeah.
And so if I leave it more open to, you know, at least this or something higher, something better, what Spirit has in mind for the highest and best, however you want to phrase it, you're leaving yourself, you have a vision of what you'd like to see, but you're not being so specific that if you get it, it's not going to be what you thought it was.
The other piece of that is that you're using your finite mind to limit the infinite
Right.
to a certain expression. But affirmative prayer for me is about getting clear on what your desire is,
Mm-hmm.
and then putting yourself in the picture.
Right.
What's it going to feel like? What's it going to smell like? What's it going to taste like? You know, what am I going to be doing in this
Yeah.
new place that I'm at?
And envisioning it not as gonna be, but is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking at what do I want, you know, but it is unfolding, it is happening. This is a real.
And then being still
Mm-hmm.
and let it unfold according to Spirit's plan.
Yeah.
And that's our bigger challenge.
Yes. To put it down, you know, one of the metaphors that's used a lot is, you know, you plant the seed and you don't dig it up to see if it's sprouted yet. You put it in the ground, give it a little water, a little food, a little sunshine, make sure it's cared for, and then you walk away and you don't come back until you see something poking up out of the ground.
You give it the right conditions to sprout.
Right, yeah.
Get out of the way.
And community, being in sacred community, can help go a long way toward providing the conditions for those seeds to sprout, the seeds of prayer. So there are some steps that we teach when someone's new with affirmative prayer, only as a way of getting a sense of what it is. And then once we have a strong sense of what it is, we can toss that out the window. But it is a way for people to begin learning how to shift out of petitionary, whatever they might have been taught as kids, into an affirmative form of prayer. So when we teach that, what do we say is the starting point? We say there are really kind of 5 steps, but prior to those 5 steps, there's something else that's important that we do. Anybody know what that is? Chris?
Get clear on what we want and then put ourselves into a meditative, receptive state.
So I'm going to reverse those two.
Yeah.
First, we just relax. This isn't how we were taught, where we came from, but we relax. We just let go. We just let go of the problem. We let go of everything. We breathe. And we bring our nervous system down to a point of relaxation. Then we're ready to look at what is the issue, what would I rather see? And then we can move into our roughly five steps to move through the process of affirmative prayer. And the first one, just in one sentence.
Declare, unify. Unify. No, I missed.
Go ahead.
God is all there is.
God is all there is.
Except
So that,
the
actually,
infinity of God.
unification is considered the second one. But so we acknowledge that the only thing going on here is life taking form. And in whatever language, whatever feels right to us, acknowledging that all is well, that all is unfolding as it should, and that life is really all that is. You can call it God, you can call it spirit, you can call it a great mystery, you can call it anything you want. But it's sitting with that and letting that, steeping in that. And then we unify or identify ourselves as part of that. And so therefore, I can't be anything else. I am part of it. I am an expression of divine energy. That's what I am, and we sit and steep in that for a bit.
Along with recognizing what God is, we also have to realize that it's unlimited.
Right. Yeah.
So, because I can say God is abundance, but unless I within myself recognize that that's unlimited abundance.
Right.
You know, there's that belief that maybe if I accept mine, I'm taken away from somebody else, and
Right.
you know, that all comes up later. But if I recognize ahead of time, God's unlimited.
Right.
Whatever it is that I am wanting to bring into my life, there are no limits to that, except
Yeah.
in my mind.
When I, within myself, feel that God, life, spirit is all that is, where's the limitation in that? There is no limitation in that. So that can be part of your first steeping in that limitless, infinite possibility.
Well, in the beginning, when I first started learning affirmative prayer, I had to learn to recognize that it was unlimited.
Right. Yeah.
Because that part of my brain didn't understand what unlimited was.
Yeah. Right.
And available to all.
And available. Right.
Right.
Available to all. Okay, so spirit, life is all that is. I am one with that. And then we move into the feeling, the sensing, the knowing, the experiencing, that which we are seeking to experience, to be. And you can use words with that, or you can not use words with that.
Pictures.
You can use pictures, you can just energetically be with it. Chris?
That's where the affirmation comes in.
Right.
That's what makes it affirmative. You're affirming that this is what I'm here for. This is actually happening.
This is unfolding. This is what's unfolding right here and right now. Marsh?
It's interesting. I find myself more than anything else asking for guidance as opposed to having a vision of what I want. Do I want to be a teacher? Do I want to be a performer? Do I want to be blah, blah, blah? And so it's interesting because coming from the old institutions that a lot of us came from, you're asking to be shown how you can best be part of it all.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because if I'm trying to envision a thing, you know, I want a bicycle, I can picture the bicycle and I can do all that, right? But when I genuinely don't know how I might best serve, but also, well, I guess that's the best way to put it, you know what I mean? So what are you doing then? I mean, are you, you know, you're asking for guidance, but when it comes to envisioning, you know, that's where I'm struggling right now, because I don't know myself what it is I'm asking for.
Well, if you're asking to be shown,
Yeah.
then you're going to have opportunities come up. And then the invitation is, whatever the opportunity, step into it and try it out.
Right, right.
Because until you try it out, you're not going to know if this is one of the avenues or not.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, we're not going to just be picked up most of the time and plopped down into our ideal anything. We need to follow, you know, you followed some kind of guidance to walk in this door to meet this community. We have a great time playing music together as an example. Maybe some other things will come from that. There are some avenues in the community that, you know, you're becoming aware of. So sometimes I think Spirit's ways are just to make us aware of possibilities, but then we're at choice to step into them or not to step into them.
Right.
So it's not always going to be, in fact, for me, it's rarely been, you know, here it is, this is the way.
It's funny because that has happened to me a lot in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Especially on the music side of the world, where, you know, what do I want to do? And next thing I get a call asking me to be a music director for this upcoming show, or whatever it might be. And it's like, here it is, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like I've got myself almost programmed.
Right, but that was in a community where you were already known.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So when you come into a new community, it's a different process
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
You have to become known, which
Right.
means putting yourself out there to get known.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is a different process.
Yeah.
Chris?
I just wanted to differentiate between visioning and affirmative prayer, because they're actually two different processes.
Right.
You know, you might vision to get clear on what your path is.
Right.
And then when you get clear on that, then you might do affirmative prayer to get you over whatever hurdles might be between you and your goal.
Okay. Thank you for that. I'm trying to dance around here and watch the clock a little bit. So after we've sat with the experience of what it is that we're seeking, whether it's guidance or whether it's a specific something, then we teach that gratitude is the next appropriate step. And it's not gratitude, it's gratitude that this something is already in the works. It's gratitude that the answers are coming. It's gratitude that the experience is on the way in whatever form it's going to take. And that gratitude that we have the eyes to see it and recognize it and follow the steps when it appears. And then finally we release it. We just have to set it down, walk away from it. And that means not coming back, asking questions and worrying about it. It's not going back and talking to people about it. It's putting it down and walking away from it. And then opening ourselves to watch for what is to come.
It's called faith, right?
It's called faith. True faith in the process of Spirit unfolding in your life. Chris?
The gratitude step also includes acceptance that it's a done deal.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
so you don't give thanks for something for a gift you haven't received yet. You know?
Right.
So you're
Yeah.
saying, okay, it's done right here and now.
Yeah. And then it is important to open your eyes and your ears and, you know, look at what's crossing your path, and then to take steps to test the waters here, test the waters there, see what's coming your way.
It's so scary though.
So scary, so scary. All right, I'm gonna ask that we skip, Miley, the song,
Okay.
just because of our timing right now. There's a beautiful song, I've played it before, called And So It Is by Karen Mitchell. And what it does is it goes through the stages of affirmative prayer with its words. And it's a beautiful song. I'll share it again sometime. But for now,
The link will be on,
huh?
the link will be in the script.
It will be in the script if you want to hear it. Because I don't usually do medical meditation, musical meditation in this service, so I'm going to go ahead and pass it up for right now. So just know that affirmative prayer is a powerful tool, and it's one of the ways that we can root ourselves in community. So I'm going to close this with a brief prayer. It's likely to be an affirmative prayer. So join me in knowing that this beloved community is growing and thriving and serving as a unique and perfect and intentional expression of one divine life. There is one and only one thing going on here, and that is Spirit, Source, God, life, whatever you want to call it. And that's it. There's nothing else. It's just that expressing as everything. Knowing this to be the absolute truth, I am and must be a perfect and intentional peace expression of the Almighty, with all of the qualities and potential inherent, already in place. Factory equipment. Here's what I know. This beloved community is growing and thriving because generosity and abundance are qualities of spirit that run in and through every person who walks through our doors. Its members and friends are growing and thriving because expansion and evolution are divine attributes that live within each one of us, just waiting for us to fully engage them. My world is a loving and joyful and peaceful and beautiful place because the great mystery is at work in all of it. The divine light of spirit is at work. Beyond all appearances, I know this to be the truth. I know it in my mind, I feel it in my heart and in my bones. So I give deep and profound thanks for this spiritual truth. I give thanks for the knowing that God's loving and lawful presence is forever at work in my life. And I'm so grateful for the many, 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 many blessings of this and every day. So grateful for the many hands and hearts that it took to bring our lunch to the table today, knowing that we are absolutely interdependent. And so I can release this prayer, trusting that it has opened a safe and beautiful space for us to continue our time together today over our lunch. And I can just let it be that. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. So thank you for joining me in that little journey through affirmation and affirmative prayer today. We're going to bring this part of the morning to a close, allowing an opportunity for you to share of your financial goods should you choose to do that. And as we do that, we are going to do a little dancing with Jason Mraz, because that's what I feel like. How's that? Encourage you to look for the good. Me too.
Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Yo, let me tell you about people. People done gone crazy. People done gone mad. People done
got the superpowers we all have. We were born to love, not hate. We can decide our fate and look for the good in everyone and celebrate all our mistakes. If there's a silver lining, you still have to find it, find it, find it. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone, 'cause everyone needs sunshine, everyone needs rain, everyone is carrying around some kind of pain. I see who you are, just like me. I see you're searching for a purpose, guided by a dream. I see who you are, just like you. And I get lost sometimes and I forget what I came here to do. So I keep on trying, when it gets frightening. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good in everyone. Everyone is nature. Everyone is God. Everyone is love and light and vibration. Look for the good. Look for the good. Everyone gets mad sometimes, and maybe they should. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look out for all the heroes in your neighborhood. Look for the good. Look for the good. You know that life sure would be sweeter if everybody would look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good in everyone.
Official theme song. Our official theme song, right there. Pretty much says it all.
And how can you not smile at that?
I know.
So I give thanks for the love and light, the vibration in this room from each and every one of you. We give thanks to one another. We give thanks for the abundance coming through Source to us in the form of financial good, time, and talent. Because without each one of us, this is not a community. We need each and every one of us. So I give thanks, we give thanks for that. And together we say, and so it is. Amen.
All together, hand in hand, we see the light, we take a stand, and we are changing. A whole new life for you and me. Take your past and set it free, and share this blessing. Love be with you, peace unfold you, spirit lift you, breathe it in. Truth come through you, make good flow to you, and let joy renew you until we meet again. Love be with you. Ooh, love. love be with you. Ooh, love be with you.
Until we meet again.
Ooh, love be with you. Ooh, love be with you.
Now breathe it in. Love be with you. Have a beautiful rest of your day.